Hold My Drink Extra Juice with Charleen and Ellie, a GoLoud original podcast, proudly sponsored by Pennies. Get this season's must-haves in a store near you.
Welcome to Hold My Drink Extra Juice, which is kindly sponsored by Primark or Pennies, the ultimate high street destination. Get your style out there, have some fun and celebrate yourself at Primark. It's time to go big on your wardrobe and stand out with Primark's latest collection. The range is characteristically cool, think pop and bright colours, alluring florals, as well as having utility-inspired khaki cords, giving it a touch of edge for standout street-style moments. They actually have fab bits in at the moment. I posted a reel on Instagram of some summery staples, some bits to keep in your wardrobe that will carry you through basically the year. Did you also know that you can check what is in your local store on the Primark website with their new stock finder as well? So let's say, for instance, you live in between two different Pennies, you want to see a specific item and see where it's in stock. You can go on to the Primark website and see where it is. You can log on to www.primark.com/ie to check out all of their pieces and see what's in your local store with their new stock finder. This is our bonus episode. I'm saying our. It's really sad. I'm here on my own. But this is the bonus episode where we answer more of your dilemmas, because apparently you can't seem to get enough of the advice in the main episode. We always like to say we are not Bible. We like to help as much as we can. In an ideal world, that's the advice that we give. Today, Ellie is here on her own, giving advice on her own. So hopefully I don't make a shambles of this too much. But yeah, basically these are more dilemmas from Seeks from the Stalls. All the dilemmas have been sent into our email address, holdmydrink@goloudnow.com. You can send yours in there. You can also send in some updates. If we've given you some advice and you want to update us, you can do that. And I think I will just jump into this. So the first one we have is, hi girls, such a huge fan of you both. So sad Charleen's not here, I'm here on my own, but thank you anyway. I've been following you both since COVID and been listening to the podcast since it started. I admire and love your strength and awareness you have, not only for yourselves, but each other and your listeners. Thank you. Right, so I'm in a bit of a pickle, and when I say a bit of a pickle, I've been involved in this problem since I was like 13 or 14, and I'm nearly 21 now. I wish I was joking. So basically, I've been on and off with my ex in secondary school days, and we still talk now, and we're both single. We've matched on dating apps, seen each other on nights out, etc. Now, the thing is, I've always had feelings for him since I was younger, and I'm assuming he's the same because we always find our way back to each other. No matter how many relationships or situationships I'm in, I'll end up thinking about him or comparing him to them. None of our breakups were bad, they were just mutual and mainly for the drama of a breakup because we were teenagers. So my dilemma is the two of us have only gotten out of relationships and started talking to each other again, and I found those feelings I always had for him. On top of talking, we matched on Tinder. He reacts to my Instagram stories, checks up on me on nights out and starts conversations with me all the time. The thing is, I'm scared to make a move in case it's not reciprocated. I'm scared it's the case that he doesn't want a relationship and that he just wants a fling. I don't know if I'd be okay with a fling because my feelings are involved. I know I'd end up hurting more. We have a load of mutual friends that are turning 21 and we're both invited to the party, so I know I'll see him then. I really don't know what to do. I feel like if I don't make a move soon, he'll find someone else or I'll find someone else because we always seem to miss each other. Love you girls and the podcast so much. Thank you so much. The first thing that jumps out to me is don't make a move only if you're afraid that he'll find someone else. I think that'll just bounce back at you and that'll be doing it for the wrong reasons. So don't think you have to go and get with him because in the back of your head you're afraid, oh God, what if he ends up with someone else? Life works in mysterious ways, and if that was the case, that was what was meant to happen. But I think this is kind of an easy one for the fact that you have known each other so long. I feel like you have known each other since you're 13 or 14, you're 21 now. I feel like you could potentially have a relationship where you could say to him, listen, you could actually, do you know when you get to know somebody new and sometimes you're nearly afraid of oh God, I don't want to say the wrong thing or I don't want to come across a certain way. I feel like because you know each other so long, you'll be able to say to him, listen, I don't want to get into this with more feelings than you have. Like, I think you can just sit down and ask him, like, here, what's the gig? Do you think this is a fling? Like, if he's reacting to your stories and he's checking up on you and like, is it fate? Is that what they say? Faith or fate? I don't know what the word is, but anyway, that you always kind of end up back with each other. And like you said, your breakups weren't for anything bad. They were just for the sake of a breakup because you were teenagers, and sometimes teenagers, we just need drama. But I think you just have to be out straight and tell him, like, as easy as it is for me to say, I know it's always not that easy to just be so, like, in an ideal world, I even try and tell myself sometimes, I'm like, oh, just say it, fuck it, what's the worst that can happen? You'll get the answer you wanted. But I think in this case, because you do know each other so long, you know you're going to end up at the same parties and stuff, like, I think you just need to be out straight with him and ask him, here, what are we doing? Let's not beat around the bush anymore. Are we going to give this another go? Like, find out what his feelings are as well. Like, at least then you'll know what direction to go in when you find out what way he kind of feels. But yeah, I wouldn't be too afraid because you know him so long. I think you just need to bite the bullet. We're here for a short time. What is it? We're here for a fun time, not a long time or something? No, I don't know what the saying is. But it's a short life, not a long life, basically. You know him so long, I think just ask him, what's the gig? What are we doing? And don't be afraid of the answer. And don't go back there only if you're afraid that he'll find someone else. Because if that was going to happen, it would happen. The next one is, hi girls, before I tell you my dilemma, I just want to say that I adore listening to you both and you make my drives to and from work so much better. I love you both. Thank you. My dilemma is, I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years now and he is amazing. He makes me so happy and he is my best friend. We live together too and our place is my safe haven. Sounds amazing. But why do I have this strange new thought in my head? I've been working in my current job for just over 3 years now also, and there is a guy who joined the management a couple of months ago. He works nights, so I rarely saw him as I do a day shift and we are not on the same team. Now, when I first saw this guy, I was like, wow, he is so good looking, very gorgeous, but we have never spoken. Fast forward a couple of months and he has been working the day shift now, so I see him quite often walking around, but we don't work in the same office. Not a thought about him entered my mind until last week when a colleague told me that she had been sleeping with that he has been sleeping with a co-worker. I love a bit of work drama. But now for some reason I can't stop thinking about him. This was never an issue before and I don't know why finding out about this drama has made me think so much about him, but it's driving me mad. Is it a jealousy thing? Anyway, I've still never spoken to the guy, but he seems lovely and the other day I caught him staring at me. This doesn't help my delusions. What I'm trying to say is, why is this guy after triggering something in me since finding out about him sleeping with another co-worker? Myself and my boyfriend's relationship is super healthy and we were even discussing rings, etc. and getting engaged in the next year or two, a few days prior to me hearing this. Please tell me if this is normal. I feel so bad about it, even thinking of another guy because I know my boyfriend adores me. Thanks, girls. I'm so upset. Oh, like, now I've never worked in, have I? I've worked in one job with like males around, but I've never worked in like an office kind of setting. And why do I always feel like it's like an episode of Suits or something? Like, I always just think, whenever I think of like people working in like call centres or office jobs and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, it's like an episode of Suits. Maybe, I'm trying to think what would Char say if she was here. Maybe it's just the thrill of like, I don't know. I think Char might jump to saying like, maybe you need something exciting. Not something exciting in your relationship, but like, I don't know. This is a tough one because I've never been in that situation before. I don't think I've ever like heard of somebody sleeping with someone else and me kind of getting jealous of it. Maybe it's just like a thrill thing. Like you're kind of thinking scenarios in your head just for kind of, the thrill, like I said. I wouldn't feel bad, like, unless you took it to the next step and like, you know, I don't know, acted on how you're thinking of him so much. Like, yeah, I'd only be worried if you ever thought your head was going to go to acting on your thoughts and like actually trying to pursue this man. But I think your best bet, maybe it's just the buzz of the drama in work. Like you said it yourself, you love a bit of work drama. Maybe it's just the buzz of the drama and like, yeah, but this is a toughie. Eek. I wouldn't focus on it too much. I don't think I'd be too. Yeah, you said it yourself. Like, there's nothing wrong with you and your boyfriend. You're perfect. You're talking about rings. Like, I'd maybe just try and switch all my attention onto him instead of kind of having this little thought in your head of this fella in work. He could be a wanker. You've never talked to him before in your life, so he could be an arsehole. He could just be lovely to look at in work, and it's a bit of a, not a work romance because you've never spoken, but a bit of work eye candy kind of thing. But he could be an arsehole. You never know. But I think if you're so happy in your relationship now, you're talking about rings, like there's no problems there. I wouldn't make this a problem. Like I try my best not to turn this into a problem between you and your boyfriend, because that's obviously the last thing that you want. But I wouldn't feel too bad about thinking things. Like, it's just a thought in your head. Like I said, if you're not going to act on them, then I don't think it's something to feel really, really bad on. It's just a bit of a buzzy work drama. But like I said, your man could be an arsehole. You never talk to him. Don't act on it. Don't feel bad also for thinking anything. And just focus completely on your boyfriend and focus completely on your relationship. Yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. Sure, it is only a thought. Like, it can't hurt anyone. The next one we have then is, hi girls, I would love to hear your advice about a situation that I'm in. I'm not sure how to handle. My best friend did something quite unforgivable last month, and I knew it was 100% finished with our friendship. Truthfully, I don't really want any contact from her ever again. She's just too toxic for me to handle. That being said, she did message me recently after a few weeks of no contact. I told her that our friendship is not the same anymore, and we are both different people, and I just want to move forward with my life. She seemed to understand, but insisted she wanted to repair our friendship. I told her that I just need some separation or space from her. Thing is, I really want this friendship finished, and I don't think she understands this completely. LOL. We have 2 concerts booked in July, and I have absolutely no interest in going with her anymore. I own the tickets for both the concerts, and I paid for the events. She didn't. What do I do and say to her when she messages me asking about the concerts? She definitely still assumes that we are going. Thanks, girls. Cheek of her to still assume that she's going. I think if you have a set in your head that the friendship is over, you just have to stick to your guns. Like, there's no more that you can say to her. Like, once you've really explained it to her that, come here, this is over. I really don't want you as a friend in my life anymore. There's not much more you can do. Like, once you've properly put across that message, and she's not second guessing things, being like, yeah, she'll come back into my life in a while. Once you've definitely, like, nail in the coffin, that's it. Like, once you've completely told her that you're done, I don't think there's any more you can do. Would you go as far as blocking her? I don't know. No, I don't know the situation. I don't know what she did, but you seem very adamant on how you feel about the friendship and you want it done. So once you clearly tell her, nah, I'm done, I don't want you in my life anymore, she can keep reaching out, but it's up to you if you want to get back to her, kind of thing. As far as the tickets, do you think she'd actually text you, hi, are we still going to that concert? I would die. If you bought them and you paid for them, I wouldn't even say anything to her. And if she did ever reach out and say, like, oh, are we still going? I'd be like, absolutely not. Are you mad? No. Yeah, no. I own the tickets for both the concerts and I paid for the events and she didn't. Yeah, no. No. No brainer. You paid for them. You bought the tickets. That's it. I wouldn't even hesitate on, like, asking someone else or feeling like you have to explain that she's not going. Like, I think I think once you're set on finishing the friendship, she should hopefully assume that, like, okay, I'm not going. Like, imagine telling somebody, hi, I don't want to be friends anymore, and then a few months later being like, so we still going to that concert? Nah, delusional. Yeah, I think just stick to your guns. Just make it very, very clear to her that you don't let her have the assumption that you might be friends again, or don't lead her on kind of thing. Because you can do that in a friendship as well as a relationship. Don't lead her on. Just make it very, very apparent that you're done. You want to wash your hands of the friendship, like, yeah. And then hopefully she'll get the gig about the tickets. If not, I'd just text her and be like, no, you're not going. Or wait and see if she texts you. I don't think you have to reach out first and explain it. Wait and see if she texts you, and then, yeah. No. The next one we have then. Hi, Charleen and Ellie. It's only Ellie today, birds. Very sorry about that. Really love the pod. I love you so, so much, and could really do with some big sister bad bitch advice, as I admire you both so much. Thank you. Okay. I'm recently out of a breakup with a boy who did me really dirty the last couple of months over a couple of things, such as the lack of effort with me and ultimately choosing the boys over me. I did absolutely everything I could for that boy and our relationship. I more or less made a laugh and stock out myself, and he did nothing but throw it back in my face for absolutely no reason, just a case of not wanting it anymore. I also fell out with one of my best friends since primary school for also no reason. She just randomly decided one day to never speak to me again, and I did everything I could to try and solve the problem and talk to her and sort things out, but she completely ignored everything I tried to do. I know in my heart and gut I've done nothing wrong, as I would own up to it if I did. With these two situations happening in such a short space of time, I can't help but feel self-conscious that maybe I'm the problem, as my boyfriend and best friend were able to be happy and carry on like I never existed to them, while I sat at home and cried about them not being in my life anymore. It makes me feel so small that these people who meant so much to me are able to carry on without me. It genuinely makes me feel like I meant absolutely nothing to the two of them when they both meant so much to me and I did everything for them. I'm starting to feel like I'm just not good enough. I try my absolute best with people and always go out of my way to make an effort to be nice to people, and always getting it thrown back in my face. My family, my good friends are saying it's a blessing in disguise, as these two were never good in my life anyway, but I still can't help but feel like I'm always the problem, even though I try my best to be the opposite and be there for people. So basically, I need some advice on how to toughen up and not give a fuck and change my mindset about myself, as my confidence and self-esteem is genuinely at rock bottom, and I'm only an 18-year-old girl. I don't want this to take over my life, my mental health more than it already has. I just want to feel good about myself again, as I'm heading to college in September, and I just need to find my self-worth, but I just don't know how. Sorry for the long message, but could really use your help. Love ye. Don't be sorry about the long message. I'm sorry I read it out so terribly. Oh, girl, you're only a baby. Oh my goodness, you're only 18. God. I was 18 10 years ago. It actually makes me sick. Well, nearly 10. I always add on an extra year to my life. I'm still only 27. I think if your family, one of the things that jumped out to me there was, if your family are noticing people who aren't good in your life, you might notice it at the time. You might not notice it at the time, but in a few years you will, that they were always right. Like, for some reason, I don't know what it is, your family just have such a good instinct about people who are going to be good or bad in your life. But at the time, you just don't want to believe it. Like, I've been in situations before, and like, family have said, no, he or she is not good for you. Like, no. But in your head, you nearly want to make them good in your life before actually realising that they're not, kind of thing. So I think right now you might not notice it, but in a few years I think you'll thank your family and your close friends for saying like they weren't good in your life. Maybe you're just on the side of not so much being a people pleaser, but doing more for people that would do more for you. I've caught myself in situations before where I've definitely realised I've done so much more for people than they would ever do for me. And it's not a case of then turning like sour and like turning into a bitch. It's just realising, okay, am I giving as much as I get? And what? Am I giving as much as I'm getting? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is probably going to be no. So you just need to remind yourself of that, like, why am I going to give so much if I'm not getting half as much back, kind of thing? Yeah, like, your man just picking the boys over you and saying that he's not wanting it anymore. Like, you need to flip a switch in your head, and it's harder to do than say it. But you need to flip a switch in your head that says, why would I want someone like that in my life? Instead of being like, oh my God, I can fix him, or I can fix myself, I can change him. Instead of trying to make him stay in your life, you need to turn that switch on that says, why would I want someone like that in my life? Like, literally someone just saying, I don't want it anymore. Why would you want someone like that in your life? No. And the situation with your best friend, you saying that you know you did nothing wrong. Once you can carry yourself well, that you did nothing wrong, the only person you have to be true to is yourself. So once you know you did nothing wrong, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But as far as how to toughen up and not give a fuck, I think it's a thing that kind of comes with age. Because when I was 18, I'm still really soft, actually. Do you know what? Actually, I stood up for myself last week and my sister was shocked. But anyway, besides the point, I think it's a thing that does come with age, and you just kind of realise how much shit you take or you took off people. You get to a point of realising, like, why am I doing this to myself anymore? We live one life, it's a short life. You're not going to let people walk all over you, kind of thing. And yeah, as far as like not giving a fuck and changing your mindset, just realise that there is only one you. You are you, and that is your power. Is that the saying? I definitely said that wrong. Something like that anyway. Yeah, there's only one of you. Like, there's nobody else like you in the world. And you need to put yourself first in every situation. Like, think of how happy and how, like, I always think of like how relaxed your life is when there's no drama in it, when there's no one sucking the soul out of you. Like, just think of how content, like, you get up in the morning and you're like, you're not sweating over texts or like drama and fighting with someone, and think of how relaxed your life would be and how much better you can look after yourself then and your mental health. But I will preface the fact that you are only 18 years old. Girl, you still have so much more life to live and learning to do. This is all a learning lesson for you, and that's the best thing I can say to you. This is just a lesson that you're going to learn, and no matter the outcome of it, it either will toughen you up or it won't. And if it doesn't, that's fine. There's going to be another lesson that comes in your life. Like, life is literally about lessons. But I think you just need to realise how special you are. Put yourself first. Put your mental health first. Think of, like, why would you want these people in your life who can so easily throw away your friendship? And, like, no, you don't want someone like that in your life. So put yourself first. Just mind yourself, and then all the good things will come to you. Once you're looking after your head and your heart and everything else, the goodness, you'll attract all the goodness. It really is manifestation kind of thing. Like, if you're thinking good, good will come to you. If you're doing good, good will come to you. But that's not to say don't go above and beyond for people who aren't doing it for you. Realise your worth, and, like, there's a saying about glasses, but I can't think of it now. Something like that. What is it? Yeah, something like that. Would only pour into glasses that would pour into yours or something. Leanne's trying to help me here. Will I Google it? What? How do I? Is it? Hang on. Oh, Pinterest says I no longer pour into glasses that do not pour into mine. Something like that, isn't it? Stop pouring into cups that don't pour into yours. Yeah, something like that. But there's that little bit of advice for you, and I hope I helped. But keep us updated. So you can send your dilemmas into holdmydrink@GoLoudNow.com. New episodes of Hold My Drink Extra Juice, they come out every Monday, and then our main episodes with dilemmas are out every Wednesday. So if your dilemma isn't in an Extra Juice episode, it could be in the main episode on the Wednesday. I hope it helped. I know it's only little lonely me on my own today, but I hope it helped. Huge thank you to Primark for sponsoring this week's episode. Make sure to like, rate and subscribe. And the next time you might hear, next time might be on my own, but sure, you'll hear from Shara again soon anyway. But yeah, that's it. And I love you loads. Bye.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the GoLoud app.